We're live on YouTube. Yes, we are live on YouTube. Where is the Skype? Making sure that's up there. Because if Skype's not up there, you're not seeing anything. So we go like this. Boom, nothing. Bring it back up. There we go. So I don't need this window up, I don't think. I hope not. I might as well leave it up just in case. Leave it up there. There's Skype behind it. All right. Welcome to the Leroy and Earl pre-show. Going to be a short pre-show tonight. I'm going to give Steve a call here. He's coming in on this one.
We're doing that right now, or are we getting him on a horn?
We're getting him on a horn, yeah. We're just live on YouTube. Not live on Stranger.
Hello?
Steve.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Man, I'm hanging in there, man.
Steve, Earl, Steve's not feeling well tonight. You guys have something in common.
He's sick,
What's
Steve?
that?
Earl is feeling sick too.
Oh, is he?
He is, but he is being a trooper just like you, and I really appreciate you coming on.
All right. Now, did you guys want to call me on Skype? I got Skype up. James told me it's Skype.
Let's do that. Wouldn't it be better?
It might. I have to get your what's your handle there on Skype?
I don't know. Here, let me look. Hold on, brother.
Sure.
No name, Steve.
We are live on YouTube.
No
just so you know. Most people don't want their names on the show, not because of anything other than embarrassment from being on the show.
Just try Stephen Cross Sr., I guess.
All right.
I made it easy. I should have. Did I add you, James?
I don't think so. I don't know how you could have. I don't think I'm linked to my Facebook. Let me look though. Here, I'll get you. Contacts. Add contact. Search Skype. Steven.
Yeah, it says Stephen Cross Sr.
This is what we do right before we go live. This is the kind of stuff that's just hilarious.
Right.
Gotcha. No shit. That is funny.
Right. You should have I just sent you an invite, I think.
Well, if you okay, that'll work.
Jacob King. Is that Jacob King?
No, I sent you an invite.
Yeah. Is it under Jacob King?
Oh, let me look real quick.
Do you know who you are?
Yes. Are you who you say you are? It doesn't. It says it's not shared any details. There was two Stephen Crosses. There was a Stephen Cross and a Stephen Cross senior.
Senior. Did you go with senior?
Earl Lemus Tate. That's you.
Yep. That's I
got you.
He's Earl.
All right.
Chuck,
You want to go over to Skype?
Leroy, do you know how to do this shift?
I don't really, to be honest with you. I mean, if you bring him into our you should bring him into our group. So
okay, I'll see if I can do that.
Yeah, just do it.
You put a lot on me, but I'll give it a try.
Right. Well,
you're the one that told me to download Skype. I told you I didn't even have that shit.
Well, I thought Leroy would have all this shit together.
You didn't tell me anything about that. If you had said that, I would have called him 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, he just told me he was going to call. Yeah, Leroy just said he was going to call.
Right. Because normally people prefer the phone, and it's just easier.
Steve, don't be sticking up for Leroy now. All right, you should be connected pretty soon.
Yeah.
All right, we're connected.
All right, you got to hang up your phone.
Well, don't hang it up until you're
Right,
connected,
let me
Steve.
do that.
There you go. That's good.
You got him?
I got him. You there, Steve? Yep, he's gone. He was echoing like he was on the phone and Skype at the same time. Well, either way, we got to go live here, man.
Go live. I'll type him.
All right, I'm gonna do
Oh,
it.
there
Then.
he is. He's in there.
Yeah, but I don't hear anything.
You got to set up your mic, Steve.
There he
Make
is.
sure your mic's right. Go up to tools, then go to options, and then sound or audio settings.
Hey, I'm going to start the show, so it's going to be like a minute or two of stuff. So work with him on this, and if you can't get it fixed, tell him I'll just call him back on the phone. Okay? Got it?
He can hear you. He can hear you.
Okay.
Thumbs up if you can hear us, Steve. Okay,
well,
so he can hear us. So
we can't
Steve,
hear you.
We can't hear you though. So you got to go up into the tools bar. You got a touch screen, Steve? Are you on your phone? I think he's on his goddamn phone.
Well, that's fine. Skype works pretty good on the phone.
Well, he shouldn't have to set anything up on his phone. I don't know anything about that.
Like, oh boy. Like you know anything about it on anyway.
Well,
All right, we're live on Strange Label.
why can't we hear Steve?
I don't know, but like I said,
Hey Siri, I want to listen to the Leroy and Earl show.
Okay, playing playlist Leroy and Earl.
I say playlist.
Look at here. Listen up.
interesting.
Hey girls, my name's Alaska. I got a tiny little question to ask ya. Who's that bitch that's on the top? Oh wait, that's me. Hey pork chop. You're
What
gonna make it
the hell?
rest
Is this
flat.
Ricky?
Your face just
I was
needs a
trying to
paper
do
bag.
something and it didn't
Give
work.
me a challenge,
Obviously.
crush it all.
What the heck is this?
Game like my name's
It's RuPaul.
Line them up, front to back. I'm sending bitches home like a heart attack. Mess with me.
Start the
and
show.
wind up in a casket.
All right, here we go.
Get in the basket. I'll get you
All right,
down.
chumps up. Let's do this. Leroy!
Yo, Earl! What? Hey, you're fired! You butt!
Unacceptable condition! Unacceptable!
You're listening to Leroy and Earl.
Did I just hear him?
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4!
All right, welcome to the Leroy and Earl show. I'm Leroy.
And I'm
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Now, let the record show I did not interrupt you. That was not me.
That timing was incredible.
All right, this is the Leroy and Earl show, the adult cartoon podcast. We are live on the Strange Label podcast network at strangelabel.com right now, going out to the entire planet. The entire planet is able to listen to this show right now. Now, only about 6 of them people of the planet are listening, but it is accessible to the entire planet. The Leroy and Earl show. And on tonight's show, we have a very special guest, Mr. Stephen Cross, who is the founder of St. Michael's Paranormal Investigations, and you are based in Akron, Ohio, correct? Is that correct?
Yeah, we sure are.
Akron, Ohio. What a coincidence. So are we.
Nice.
That's odd.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful city, huh?
it is.
It
and
sure is. I love the beautiful city of Akron.
and
A
from
lot
what
of Canadians.
I was just
Yeah,
getting, I was just getting ready to say it's really haunted, but you kind of said the same thing. All right. We got a lot in store for you guys tonight. Like I said, we have. Do you go by Steve or Steven? Or does it matter?
I go by Steve. Steve's great.
All right. Rick Cross is on the show tonight.
You almost just said you go both ways. I'm just pointing that
Is
out.
it time for my joke?
You know,
Shut
I
up.
think one time in college I passed out and didn't realize it.
All right, fair enough.
Just joking.
Leroy's the same way.
So,
Double banjo.
we really appreciate you taking your time out to come on the show and tell us a little bit about St. Michael's Paranormal Investigation. And don't you also host a show on KRMA Radio?
Yes, I sure do. It's called Cryptic Paranormal Show with Steve Cross and Laura G.
And how long have you been doing that?
A month now. That's it. Believe it or not.
Cool. So you're new to the whole podcasting scene.
Yes.
Well-
It can be fun or it can be rough at times.
You don't have to tell us.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us anything.
We started the show in October of 2014, and we did it for about a year and a half, and then we quit, and we just started it up again about 2 months ago.
Man, that's a nice looking studio.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really
you.
glad to be in here.
I've been working pretty hard on it, and it's one of the reasons why I do podcasting is because I have all this shit, so I might as well do something with it.
Gotcha.
So let's start this off by talking about St. Michael's Paranormal Investigations. And I can't believe I'm getting that out, because every time I start to say it, I feel like I'm going to fuck it up.
Also, don't forget to remind everybody they can ask questions on Strange Label.
Yeah,
It
go to
is being monitored.
Yeah,
this
go to
week.
strangelabel.com, and we will try to monitor that and ask if you have any questions for our guest tonight, Stephen Cross. We'll try to get those questions to him. Sometimes I got so many things going on here that I lose track. But hopefully, while Earl's talking to you, then I
That's
can.
small.
I mean, you'd say something.
I found it amusing, Earl, that you're sitting there stuffing your face. You know we're live on YouTube, right?
What
What?
are you drinking there, Earl?
We're live?
Yes.
Yeah, listen.
No, not that. Grey Goose right here, man.
Very good.
There you go.
The only way to go.
Now I prefer my whiskey.
I'm a whiskey man
Fair enough.
myself. Tonight I am drinking. Hell's it? Oh, Knob Creek. You ever heard of Knob Creek?
Yeah, Knob Creek's good. Yeah, good
Yeah.
brand. It's made by Jim Beam, actually.
Is it? It's pretty good. Knob Creek and Coke, mixed with some Coke. So.
It's good stuff.
Hey, Mr. Leroy, are you going to introduce me?
This is our intern, Ricky Dixon.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Cross?
Hey, Ricky, how are you, buddy?
I'm better than Custer, my friend.
What the fuck does that mean?
You look better than Custer, too.
Ricky, that's enough.
I got a joke of the week.
Later. You can tell it
You're
later.
blowing it,
Why
Ricky.
can't I tell
I
it
mean,
now?
Because we got the guest on.
You're good at it, but don't blow it.
Sorry, he's a pain in the ass.
It's hard to get good help these
It
days,
is.
Leroy.
It is. It's real easy to get bad help, though. All right, so let's start off with this. Give us a quick synopsis of what you do and why.
Basically, I found at St. Michael's 23 years ago with a buddy of mine, Doug Matz, and he's the fellow co-founder with me. What we do is we go into people's homes, we help them out, we do a full investigation. The Catholic Church will send us out. Sometimes we'll get a call from the diocese or a church in the area. We'll go out on an investigation for them, get the proof they need, in order to come into the home and cleanse it or perform an exorcism of the home. We do it for free. We don't charge. So it's, we really enjoy what we do. We enjoy helping people. We've been doing it a long time before the shows made it all popular.
Now, do you only do Catholic homes?
No, we do anybody that's in need of help. Hauntings don't choose what religion they're, haunting. So we try to help anybody, as long as they're respectful of our beliefs. If you're going to call us in, we're going to get rid of it. through the Catholic way, you know.
Right. That makes sense.
But just most branches of Christianity, you know, nothing against that. I was raised Baptist. They don't help their own parishioners. You know, when there's a haunting, they tell them, you know, they try to blow it off.
Right.
So it's one of the reasons why I converted over to Catholicism.
Yeah, I would say most Protestants would 100% not believe in ghosts, so they probably wouldn't be, you know,
Is open.
right. Which I gotta be honest with you, I'm a skeptic. I don't know where Earl stands on
That's
this.
fine. I got 2 members on the team that are skeptics, brother. So I totally understand that. And that's
Really?
what you got to go in with skeptics to, you know.
Yeah, if you're not skeptical about it, you're not doing life right. And I have to agree with Leroy. I'm kind of on the fence about it. Obviously, I'm here like everybody else. I don't know why we're here, so I can't rule anything out. But
yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to think, you know, that this is all there is, you know, the life is this, you know, 70, 80 years if we're lucky, and then we die and it's over. You know, I have a hard time believing that.
that's a hard pill to swallow for anybody.
I don't have a problem with
Exactly.
it. I am completely fine with it.
You seem like the type, you just throw a shot of whiskey on my grave, piss on it,
That's
and
right.
leave, take off.
I want a Viking burial and just get drunk.
There you go. Shoot the arrow on the water, right?
There you go. Now, Steve,
Put
tell
the boat
us,
on fire.
tell us, give us an example of something that you've dealt with. Well, tell us what. Now we've all
Hey,
seen.
I hate to interrupt before you answer that question, but we do have a question from Strange Label.
Let's hit it.
And
Let's
one
hit it.
second. Well, Michelle from we don't know where wants to know, Steve, if you've ever been on any of the Ghost Hunter shows or anything like that.
I was on one Ghost Adventure show a long time ago, so just for a short period.
And what was that about? I mean, I could explain a little more. She's obviously interested.
It was down there. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. The Prospect House down there in southern Ohio. It's where I was part of the Underground Railroad.
All right, Michelle. Hopefully that answers your questions. If that, keep typing questions. All right, sorry to interrupt.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Fine.
Can you elaborate a little bit? What happened?
Well, there's just theories that rumors that there's it's a haunted place down in the basement where they hid the slaves under the floor. You know, there's a lot of emotion there. You know, a lot of times people think of hauntings an actual ghost when it's kind of could be like a recording in time. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
So you got a lot of energy and emotion in one place, and that can hold the ground can hold that and replay it in time. You know, so it might not be like it's an actual live what we call an intelligent haunting, but it's what we call a oh, I'm sorry, I got a bad
A Ricky
head cold,
haunting?
everybody. A what?
Well, you said it wasn't an intelligent haunting, so I said it's a Ricky haunting. Or
That could be a Ricky haunting. Yeah,
That
Ricky's wanting to tell his joke now after you said that.
Okay, it's time for
No,
my joke
but,
of the week. Thank you. Okay,
Shut up. It's not time for your joke of the week.
God, when is it going to be time?
We're going to be done with
I
this.
know that
Yes.
actually is kind of cool. I've never really heard that, a recording in time. It's always about somebody walking through walls or trying to scare people. But
Right.
a recording in time, I mean, that's kind of scientific.
When it's called a residual. I come back to me. There's either intelligent or residual hauntings. A residual is like what got me into paranormal in the first place. When I was a kid, I read a book out of our old library at the elementary school, and it talked about the brown lady ghost, and she would be seen every night on these stairs walking up the stairs. And there's a real famous photo of her if you want to Google it and look it up, the lady in brown. But that's what got me started. And that was what we would call a residual, because it's going on every night, the same thing. Intelligent means you're getting communication back, like knock on the wall, and you get a knock on the wall, or move an object. Those are intelligent hauntings because you're actually communicating. A residual, you're not. You might catch it on recording, but that's it. There's no interaction. So hopefully that answers. So we and I think when there's a tremendous amount of energy, say if somebody's murdered in a certain place, that energy can be left there, mark that spot, you know. And
is it always negative though, Steve? Can there be positive ghosts?
Probably all the cases we've ever went into, only 8% of them are probably real that I would consider haunting. Of the 8%, I'd say probably 80 were evil, were dark. I do believe in demonic energy more than I do ghost. I think most ghost hauntings are residual, just a marking in time. There's a great book out by a guy named Russo, and it talks about it's his ghost theory, and he talks about if a Civil War. So he used the example, a Civil War soldier, young man's dying, and his mother's 4 states away, and the soldier was shot in the chest fatally. That she all of a sudden feels pain in her chest, she can't breathe, and she knows something's wrong. You know, a mother's love. You know what I mean, reaching out states because there's such an emotional energy there. And sometimes, you know, in the future, 100-something years ago, we might be tapping into that telekinesis that son was sending to his mother. You know, his last thoughts was his mother, and you know that he loved her, and he knew it was over. That kind of
reminds me of when a twin knows something's wrong with their other twin. You know,
exactly. A lot of animals communicate through telekinesis, so I think it's a real good theory. You know, I think there's parts of the human brain we don't use that we don't realize we have. Ricky might be a prime example.
Fucking eat it.
Hey,
no, I kind of agree with that. I'm actually more of a fan now of the what you're doing here than I was, 20 minutes ago, because I constantly see, TV shows and who pulled my shirt off of me or whatever. This seems a little more at least science based, and
So, and that's what I do. It's all science based. I use all scientific equipment. I'm not gifted in any means, consider myself a medium or nothing like that. So everything we come down to, I actually had 1 or 2 psychics in the group in the past, and it's just they don't work out too well. I found out I haven't met a real psychic yet.
Yep, neither have we. Even though we did a whole 3 episodes with psychics, live psychics.
I'll have to hit those on the replays. Hey, I got a question for you. You mentioned that, you said 8% of the calls you get are real. What are the other? What are the other percentage? Are they people that think it's real, or are they just yanking your chain?
No, the majority of them do think it's real. We even had people get mad at us because we said, your place isn't haunted. I'm like, first of all, you're mad about that? I'd be glad, But the one time we were at a house, the guy was complaining that he was seeing things. He was feeling real funky, weird, that his moods would change when he was sitting in his chair. All right. I know it sounds a little weird, but stick with me. So first thing we do when we go in, we look for conventional things. When I do a phone interview before we will do a case, and I make sure, if it sounds goofy in the interview phone, then then we won't take that case. So we kind of try, get the bad cases out before we even go on them.
So if we called you,
pretty interesting.
If we called you,
so we go, sorry, go ahead.
If we called you, you would immediately hang up, right?
I'm probably not YouTube, but Ricky maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ricky.
Why are you picking on me tonight?
Because you're an idiot, and we pick on you all the time.
Fine.
I mean, Ricky's the one good thing you're good at. One thing you're good at, Ricky.
Fuck you guys. I'm not even doing my joke of the week tonight. And it's a good one.
I don't care. Get out of here. I'm sorry for the interruption. Go ahead.
Dude, just sit back in the corner. Keep giving me them googly eyes.
There you go.
It's okay. So it's like I'm waiting for the double banjos to happen, on the river here.
He knows,
Ricky, you're making me nervous.
He knows Ricky does it. He's just met you, Ricky, and he knows you.
Whatever.
Hey, go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Going both ways, playing for the same team. But
anyways. All right. Not a question so much as a comment, and I'm not really sure who this is directed at, but T-Rex of Homoville says the guy in the chair looks like what?
He's taking
looks
LSD.
Like he's been on LSD. So I'm probably talking about you, Leroy.
We're all in chairs. What the fuck does that mean? We're all in chairs.
I don't know. We're all in chairs, T-Rex.
Steven, go ahead and finish what you were
T-Rex,
talking
what you been smoking, buddy? Whatever you're smoking, put it down, T-Rex.
Probably pull.
He's haunted. T-Rex might be possessed. It sounds like he's got a possession there.
Yep.
No, but get back on topic. So I said we don't in the psychics, we don't believe too much in them. But we went to that 8%, and so the guy in the chair, you know, he's telling us all this. So what we do when we go to a home, we go to all the hot spots, okay? Then we check the power box in the basement, see how much EMF's putting off. And EMF is acronym for electric magnetic field. And his electrical box downstairs, which his chair happened to be above it, on the floor above, it was reading off the charts. And here what it was is he had his buddy put in the box for him. Well, his friend didn't know what he was doing. He didn't ground it off properly. So all that EMF was going up to him. So he was getting a heavy, it was bottoming out, the EMF. So he was getting a heavy dose sitting there in his chair all the time.
Wow.
Which, EMF, high EMF fields will cause confusion. It can cause visions, sickness.
Is this what they use to, I guess there's a weapon that they can point at crowds of people and it throws their equilibrium off a little bit. Is that something like that?
You know what? It's something like they built. Yeah. It's kind of like an electric. Yeah, exactly.
I think that really explains this show.
Wow.
I think we must
That's what's
have,
happening to Ricky.
we must have some serious EMF coming off all these screens. It's the only thing I can think of.
Well, you know what? We'll
kidding
have next time I'll bring an EMF detector. We'll test it out.
I'm
And
sure.
EMF detectors have been around forever. And the old TV, remember the old tube TVs?
Yeah.
From when we were young. The TV repairman, remember, they used to come out to your house and
Right.
change and do all that. And that was part of their equipment, was an EMF reader. Just see how much radiation, electric magnetic field was coming off that TV.
Right.
So making sure there wasn't too much radiation coming out.
Have you ever just went to a relative's house or something and they didn't even know their house was haunted, and then they're like, "What the fuck? It's haunted now." It wasn't haunted before you showed up.
I've been blamed before, for bringing something in. My wife gets mad about it. She's always scared I'm going to bring something home. I was just at a friend's and they said I brought something.
We're talking about EMFs or like ghosts still.
Yeah, we're talking about ghosts still. Yeah.
So actually, that's a legit question. Can there be grudges from these?
You can have an attachment. You can have a high energy attachment, and it's nothing like the TV shows. A lot of people get the misconception from the TV shows. It's an exciting, fun night. It really is not. Most of the times, you don't know anything happened until you're home, and you start listening through all the voice recordings and all the video recordings. Then you realize, oh shit, this happened, or oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. We're on the radio. Oh wait, there's no FTC right on this neither, is there?
No, this is a podcast. You can say whatever you want.
Trust me, you're okay.
Fuck yeah, then.
We used to advertise porn sites on here. We used to be. It's kind of what squashed us a couple of years ago.
Oh, was it Ricky with the gay ones, huh?
No, it wasn't.
Well, we did find some videos of Ricky and Leroy, but that wasn't it.
There was no.
I can't do Leroy.
No, there was no videos. That's bullshit. Bullshit.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. But so that's what with EMF. So we do get calls that we can explain to them that there's something wrong with the house. When bangings are happening, when they complain there's bangings around the walls or the floors, we put we check their hot water pipe.
I want to
You'll get a lot of movement out of that hot water pipe. And the strap that holds those might be broken. It's banging against the wood or the other pipe, and that's all it is.
So are these people that aren't smart enough to figure that out themselves? Like, why
a
do they?
lot of people shouldn't be homeowners, if you know what I'm saying.
I guess my first thought was, when I hear a noise in the house, my first thing isn't, oh my God, it's haunted.
Right.
My first thought is, I guess the hot water heater is probably, you know what I mean?
And that's what I think, of myself too. So I've
What
never
kind
had
of stuff are you seeing on this equipment? I mean, can you explain on that a little bit?
Yeah, I got a couple pictures that came out really well. I got a shadow demon in House of Wills in Cleveland, in a orb, a bright orb. I'm not a big fan of orbs, but when this one, I just captured one huge bright orb on the ceiling. And when we get an orb, our rule of thumb is you have to have two proofs of to go with it. Two things had to happen with it. And one was the EMF reader went off, and then we had another meter that had gone off. So when I took the photo, we captured the shadow demon in or a shadow. I shouldn't say demon. I shouldn't put it there, but in this bright orb. So that was a real interesting one. The one Doug got was down there in Dayton at the Air Museum. He got a pilot it was a shot down plane the pilot had died in. They had it hanging there in the air docks, and Doug took a picture of it and actually got a really cool. And a lot of people go into the face. Our minds are designed to find faces and everything. It's called face matrixing. But this one was beyond a doubt. It was a face, and it even had like a captain's hat on and an eye patch.
Whoa.
Almost. It looked like an eye patch. Incredible photo. Then in Columbus, I got, we were doing a house that was built right next to Indian burial grounds down there in Mounds. And we got a picture of it looked like a Native American spirit with, the come out clear as day. I've seen movements before, from the side of my eyes. I can't say what it was for real. If I did, I'd be lying. Anything can happen. Your mind can play tricks in the dark. But our biggest thing is when you get the voice recordings, EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. And when you're sitting there in a controlled environment, and there's two or three of you, and you're asking questions, you're pausing, you got a recorder. When all of a sudden you get a big evil fuck you, and it says a couple other things that's threatening your life. We've had that happen twice. The once was I can't tell you who she is, but she's an RN, and her husband's on one of the local fire departments. He's an officer on the department. He's also on the Summit County Task Force. The fire department that they'll go in under fire to pull victims out, kind of like a military paramedic. They're trained to handle that, so they got to go through that testing, in case there's a school shooting, God forbid, or a multi-shooting in Akron, or in this county that, he would go in under that fire, which, that's a lot of stress for both the officer and the firefighter. So he's got his head together is what I'm saying. She does too. And it was the worst case we had. We actually had to bring in the Diocese of Cleveland to help us get rid of what was in there. So now we were threatened. One guy was marked, scratched up. So,
like, you were threatened by the one that said "fuck you guys," right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. And Doug Mattson was there with me, my co-founder. Now we had a couple other guys, and a girl, and my son was there. I called his name 3 times. So I take my young son out. If we don't think it's going to be a bad place, which this one ended up being not the nicest of places. And when you walked in, you could just feel sometimes you don't have to be as sensitive or gifted. Sometimes you can just, and I'm sure you guys have walked into a room or somewhere where you just didn't feel comfortable, say at a party or whatever. The vibe of the party, you walk in, you can feel the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Is it a good party, bad party? Do I got to make it?
When you go out to these places, you get these calls. Do you go directly out there, or do you do any kind of history research on the area or the names?
Yeah. Well, we do the phone contact interview. Then we do if we accept a case, then we do. Yeah, I got a couple girls that do all the historical backgrounds. My friend Diana Pfister does that. Does a lot of the backgrounds. My wife does a lot of the history backgrounds. So yeah, we check it out real well. Make sure the person's not a convicted felon too. I don't want to. It's dangerous. They're trusting us coming to our house, but we're trusting going into their home too.
Right, because then
You gotta
you
be
might.
careful.
Next thing you know, you're the one haunting them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't want to be like Jeffrey Dahmer's dinner or something.
Right.
Hey, I'm sorry I had to step away there for a second, but when you got to go, you got to go. You know what I'm saying?
What do we call that in the radio business? I just learned out from Stan Pyatt. That's when you play. It's called a poop song. That it's so long you get to get away from the radio for a minute.
Well, luckily you guys were here, and no one probably knows. Steve, we do have a phone call. Is it all right if we take it?
Yeah.
All right, line 2. Who is this?
This is Father James O'Shea-Hennessy from Akron, Ohio. Stephen, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Father?
Well, I'm doing great, son. I just wanted to ask you a few questions about this whole paranormal thing that you got lined up with Catholicism.
Yes, sir.
What's your question?
Well, well, that's a good question. What is my
Well,
question?
spit it out. You called us. And you didn't even say hi to me. Did you not notice I was here, Father James?
I did not notice. I'm sorry.
Jesus
Hello,
H.
Earl. Earl. Well, I thought it was Howard Stern.
Fair enough. Fair
That's
enough.
not Howard Stern. Yeah, Howard
Compliment
Stern's coming on the
accepted.
Leroy and Earl show. This is Steve. This is Father James O'Shea-Hennessy. He's a regular guest on our show, and he calls in and just he's been a big help ever since the show started.
And
Awesome.
Steve,
I
you gotta
actually would
keep.
like to meet him in person.
I bet
You
you
gotta
would.
keep in mind, Steve, that we when we did the show for years, we never had YouTube. It was all audio. So
Right. We did this show for years with no video, and several people, T-Rex included, they didn't get it.
What do you mean they didn't get it?
They didn't understand what was going on. So this Father James, he's,
Father, we know.
Well, what church do you go to, lad?
I go to the St. Francis, Father, right there on Manchester Road.
Oh,
Father Blinds.
good for you. I'm a Catholic priest there at the First Diocese.
Okay.
Yeah, the First Diocese. I like to say I'm a Catholic priest, like Donald Trump is president. Some people just don't believe it.
Gotcha, Father. You know what? My other friends, you know Father Stein?
I do know. I know Father Stein very well. We went out for drinks last night, actually.
Where at?
At the Barley House.
Not out in Doylestown, huh?
Yeah, Barley House in Doylestown. Of course. Where else would it be?
Father James,
got
quit
you.
making
Yeah,
up
he
shit,
does
Father
like
James.
that.
All right, I'm full of shit. I don't know any Arthur Conan Doyle. What was his name? Father Doyle?
Father Stein in Doylestown.
Father Doyle in Steinstown. No, I've never been there. Don't know.
Ricky,
Sorry.
Ricky, did you pre-screen this call? I mean, did Father James tell you had a question or what?
It's Father James. What would I pre-screen?
that's a good question.
Father James, answer the
Good question.
Hey, watch the DD,
Sorry.
man.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah,
the
answer
easy.
the question.
Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
That's
My
right.
bad.
That's freaking right. All right, my question for you is, how much money do you have invested in your gear?
Father, I probably got about $5,000-$6,000 invested.
And you don't charge anything, correct?
No, sir. It came out of my own pocket.
Why, well, that doesn't seem like a good business model.
Well, I don't do it for a living, but I like to help people.
If someone wanted to donate, where would they do that at?
You know what? We don't. If we help you, if you want to donate, you're more than willing. We've actually never set up for a place for donation. That would probably be a good idea.
Well, you're getting good business advice already, aren't you?
I guess I am. You're right. And you know what I do for a living, Father? I'm help people invest money.
Well, now this show is really going to shit. You're you're a liar.
Yeah, but don't call my guest a liar.
Well, whatever.
So that's what
Father, you sounds like you need to go to confession.
Well, here's the issue, son. I drink heavily. I mean, there's never a time when I'm not drunk. So what am I supposed to do? I'm an Irish Catholic priest, and
I'm full-blooded Irishman.
Like I said, where you? Do you have family back in Ireland?
My father and my mother come from Ireland.
Well, I was born in Ireland.
So was my parents. So the English chased my dad out.
Is that right?
They wanted to kill my da.
How much is a pound of potatoes in Ireland right now?
They don't go by the pound.
Okay, he's Irish. I believe him.
Hey, Father James, do you have any other questions?
No, I just wanted to know about the gear, and how much money he charged, and if he needs any, if you ever need any help, son, give me a look, give me a call. I'm here at Father James O'Shaughnessy at the First Diocese in Akron.
All right, good to hear from you, Father.
All right, boys, I'll talk to you later.
See you, Father James.
We'll talk to you. Aaron, go, bro.
It's Father James O'Shaughnessy, and it's like that. So, Earl, any more questions for our guest?
I'm Earl. I've got all kinds of questions. What kind of time block are we on?
It's 7:36. We got plenty of time.
All right, I got one question for you, and maybe this doesn't apply to what you do. I mean, you said you were scratched and stuff, or I may be speaking wrong.
I've been scratched.
Okay, so they're physical beings. They can walk through walls, right?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I was scratched by a demon, I honestly believe.
So my question
I know it sounds nutty.
No, but my question is I always hear these people, they see these ghosts and they walk through a wall, but how come ghosts aren't falling through floors? I don't understand.
And you know what? I've been wondering that same damn question.
I guess it's just by choice then. I don't know.
I guess that's why everybody's basement's haunted, because they do fall through the floor, maybe.
That makes sense.
We haven't proven it. That's
I'm haunted with centipedes.
That's my goal in life, is to find out why ghosts fall through floors.
I got an explanation for you.
You know what's that?
I got an explanation for you. You ready?
I'm ready for it.
There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts.
What is that right next to you right now?
Oh shit!
Boo!
I got you good, motherfucker.
Asshole.
Yes, that was just Ricky.
Yeah, asshole.
He's kind of ghost.
I'm all freaked out.
Ricky's more dangerous than a legion of demons behind you.
Boy, you said a whole mouthful right there, buddy.
I'm for real.
A whole mouthful.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking a little whiskey for my cold.
That's okay. I got a cold too. Just popped up on me. I've been on a diet, and I think I lowered my immune system by not eating right.
Your lips are looking better.
Are they? You like the way
That
my
sounded
lips
really gay.
Shut up.
You had them big DSLs for a minute there.
Oh,
he did.
Oh. I'm holding back, Leroy. I'm holding back out of the respect for the way he handles his mic.
I handle my mic very well. I got that overturn on it.
So, is there anything else that you do? You perform these exorcisms, or you help them at least? Anything else that you do that we need to know about, Steve?
I don't perform them. I'm not allowed. I'm not a priest, so you have to have a priest come in and perform an exorcism of a home. We've never done one of a human. Never seen a possessed human yet. Hope I never do. Said in 23 years, I've yet to see an apparition full body. I would love to. I know that sounds goofy, but I'd love to see it.
I mean, this is what you do. You're interested in it. You know, you have been since you were a kid. I completely understand. I'm the same way with aliens, and I don't look at it as typical, green beans. I think that it's so mass. There's so much out there that, it'd be great to find a planet that had that could share their knowledge. That's all.
And I think they've been, honestly, because I do have the radio show, and we discuss the paranormal with UFOs, even Bigfoot, any type of paranormal thing I've had guests in. We're going to have witches in. I had the head of the Church of Satan was in last week in Cleveland. So we have some interesting guests, but sorry about my dog in the background.
The dogs of hell have been let loose.
I wasn't sure if that was yours, Leroy. So you're doing these shows on KRMA Radio, correct?
KRMAradio.com, yes.
And when can we listen?
Thursday nights from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tomorrow night's show, we don't know if it's a go or not. My co-host is down with a bad sinus infection, and I don't know if depending on how I feel tomorrow. So I might have a pre-taped one on.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's hard to do a show alone.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, I don't want
Leroy's
to
going
do
to be doing the show alone next week.
Oh, come on, man. I got
do that to him.
I got so many I got a message today from a Shifthead that's basically like beside himself if you don't stay on the show.
What was that?
Well, there's been a long standing issue with Earl. He didn't want to do the show. He didn't want to come back. And it's his prerogative, whatever. So I've been bribing him to do it. So like I don't even remember what it was. He said, well, I'll do 2 shows if you do this, or I'll do 2 shows if you do that. And then the last thing he did was if he told me if I went out and bought an Xbox One, Call of Duty, World War II, and got Xbox Live and played with him, he would do the show for a year. Well, I don't have the money. I'm flat broke. So he's like,
as he sits in front of 17 computer screens and
I already had all this stuff. That's why I'm broke. Jeez.
Hey, I understand. Same here.
So anyway, to make a long story short, we never know whether Earl is going to be here or not, but I think he'll stick around. He sees the value. Check us out,
Earl,
Steve.
you need to, man. This could be a good career change for you, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be nice. Coal mines are getting hard, but listen,
they are.
The Xbox One is a it's a show of faith. It's not about the Xbox. It's a show of faith.
Well,
I know you don't want to go out and trade all your shit in just to get an Xbox One for me to tell you I don't want to play anymore. And I don't want to get on the show and put all my heart into the show for you to get upset about the show and not feel like doing it again.
Well,
so it's a show of faith, man.
True.
Go get that damn Xbox One and let's do this. I'll be on the show.
We'll
have some fun.
I went at my lunchtime today. I went out to McDonald's to meet someone who said they were going to come buy my Xbox 360 and 15 games, and they didn't show up. So that's the kind of
thing. Was that on Let Go, or was that a Let Go person, or
it was Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, the Facebook. Yeah. Doesn't that get frustrating when they don't show up?
Yeah, it does. I put it on Craigslist, and that was a complete waste of time. Craigslist was nothing but scams.
More. Craigslist has nothing but female prostitutes, Ask Ricky.
Which is fine if they'll buy an Xbox.
I don't know what the problem with that is.
Are you kidding me?
No, I have my PS4 up on the market, and when that sells, and it will, I will get an Xbox One. I will show you, Earl, how much I want you to be on the show and how much I need you to be on the show.
Other people are always
Hello there.
That's my wife.
Hello, Steve's wife. How are you tonight?
It's the lovely Mrs. Cross.
Hi, how are you?
Great. The whole world is seeing you right now. I hope you know.
Okay, well, I'm leaving now.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry, the whole world.
Did you even take a look at us? They're seeing us too.
She's scared. She took off.
Sorry, I misspoke. The whole world could see you. There's only 2 people watching here. There's 3 people right now watching. But anyway, hey, Steve, before we let you go, before we let you go, can I speak?
I'm sorry. I guess you know how it feels when you get interrupted.
I do, and it hurts. Before we let you go, real quick, KRMA Radio, which is a podcast network, right? It's not radio.
Internet radio, yeah.
The internet radio. KRMA Radio is sponsoring the 4 Horsemen at the Outpost in Kent. If you would like to go see that.
Oh, hell yeah!
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when it is. It's coming up soon, right?
Yeah, I think in the next few weeks. Yeah. Seth, he does our heavy metal show. Seth is. We probably have about 20 disc jockeys, DJs. So we're building. We're doing really well. Nice studio. So
do you
we're
know
building.
How long Karma Radio has been around?
I think for the last 2 years. It's ran by some former members of the Akron Radio Rubber City Radio Group. So they know what they're doing. Their shows. We actually got somebody getting ready to donate mics and stuff to the show. All new mics and wires. So we're growing.
I'm glad we got a kind of a change of subject here, so we're not, but I do have a question about that. I know you got so many people. Do you guys have is it individual studios like we're doing, or is there one place?
It's one place, yeah. It's all one place there in Kent. I mean, if I can do I can do a telephone interview where we put them directly into our system, so they're heard loud. It's a pretty nice setup they got. But yeah, there's it's there in Kent in New Franklin Avenue right there. We got a 4-mic setup, so we can get up to 3 guests in there, and plus your co-host and yourself.
Does everybody?
So it's nice.
Does everybody on KRMA radio go there to broadcast?
Yes. Yeah, you go right there into the studio and broadcast.
Okay.
That'd be impossible for something like us.
Yeah. If you guys ever want to,
hey, I'm always looking for sponsors for my show. So
if you guys ever want to get really big, just add us to your lineup, and you will. You know what? You're smiling, you're laughing, but let me tell you, we hit number 21.
No, I believe it.
We hit number 21 today on a top comedy podcast on iTunes.
A lot of people come in and they hear these goofy voices and whatever. That just makes it fun for us. But we put on some content here.
Yeah, this is a fun show. I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
It's a gimmick. It's a shtick, and it's what we do. So we're gonna be.
You know what? I'll get a hold of you guys. If you want to meet up with Stan Pyatt and them guys, let me know.
That'd be cool. Well, obviously we can't broadcast from a location. We have to do it from. We have to do it.
We got
like
a little
this.
bit more technical of a setup here. I don't, you know what I mean? It's kind of rough with everything.
I'm afraid. It's technical.
Shut up.
And obviously, you realize we're not in the same area. Me and him are not in the same location.
Right.
Yeah, I see the Bud Light sign, and I don't see that brightness on Leroy there.
The shtick that we got makes it more difficult to do the show, but we've always felt it's worth it because it's a lot different. If you listen for the shift heads who listen to this show, they all know I'm Leroy. I have a backstory. That's Earl Lemus Tate. He's got a backstory. We got all kinds of characters and stuff and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
Right.
So
now you need to bring the Irish guy on more. I love Father.
Yeah, he's on quite often. Father James used to spin tunes. He would come on here and play heavy metal music for a couple hours. He's thinking about doing that again as bonus content for the website. Go to LeroyandEarl.com, and that's where you'll find all the places to download the shows. And Steve, it's been great talking to you.
Been my pleasure.
I appreciate.
Thanks for coming on the show, Steve. It means a lot.
Yeah, we really appreciate.
Not a problem, brother.
We appreciate. We will talk to you later. And Earl, I don't know how to hang up on him, so I'm gonna let you do that.
I'm gonna hang up on you guys.
All right.
Yeah, hang up on us.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to take a short break, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then we'll be right back. This is the Leroy and Earl Show, and we're live on the strangelabel.com. We are live on YouTube. Also, go to YouTube, subscribe, click the subscribe button. Go to iTunes. We're 21. We were 21 on the comedy charts. Go over there, leave a review, listen to the show, subscribe. We'll be right back in just 2 minutes.
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Other people are always the problem.
There's something weird and it don't look good. Who you gonna call? I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. If you're seeing things running through your head, who can you call? Ghostbusters! An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Oh, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you're all alone, pick up the phone and call Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. My head likes the girls. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you have a dose of a freaky ghost, baby, you better call Ghostbusters! Wow! Let me tell you something.
Wow, Christopher Walken here again. Go to LeroyandEarl.com right now and click the donate button. If you don't, I have to stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Don't get caught alone, oh no. Ghostbusters! When it comes through your door, unless you just want some more, I think you better call.
You're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show.
Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I think you better call. Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I can't hear you. Who you gonna call?
Hello, this is Andrew WK, and you're listening to Strange Label. Time to party.
All right, welcome back to the Leroy and Earl Show. I am Leroy.
And I'm Earl.
And we used to say, I'm going to pitch you some shift.
Go on and pitch that shift.
You know, why did we stop saying that?
I don't think we did. It's just not the main thing. We just say it once in a while now.
Right.
We
Well-
got tired of it. I remember it was just too repetitious.
Right, yeah. Plus, go ahead.
I was going to say, Michelle had another question. What was that question? Well, my person who is monitoring has got her headphones on. She's not paying attention. Michelle would like to know if we ever done the show in our real voices, which I really don't understand what it means.
Well, if I were to understand that, which I think I know what she's saying, and the answer to that is no.
No, I don't think we've ever done that. The closest we got to it was when we bought these, a couple pieces of equipment here, and we would have never planned on doing a podcast or a radio show, but we were online talking to each other, and we came across these voices. But I think we tried a little bit.
That's kind of an abridged version of what happened. We both had
that's like a Picasso version of what happened.
We both had these soundboards that we bought for our music studios, and you said to me one night, "Hey, have you ever thought about podcasting?" And I was like, "No." And you let's give it a try. So we tried it out in our real, quote unquote, real voices, right? And we were both like, "This sucks." I don't want to hear myself.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to hear ourselves talk. We hear that all day long.
Right. It's boring. It's stupid. It's just like every other podcast out there. And then we both had these soundboards that had pitch shifters on them. I mean, quote unquote pitch shifters. Okay. I'm not confessing to anything, but this show was born in an instant. It was like the Big Bang of the universe. I twisted the knob all the way to the left, and I said, "I'm Leroy," and then
he was like, "I'm Ricky," but then he thought,
"That's not what happened." I twisted the knob all the way to the left, and I said, "I'm Leroy," and then
I twisted mine to the right, and I said, "I'm Earl,"
and it was born, boom, like the Big Bang. Ricky came later.
That shift.
That's right. Ricky came much later in the whole equation. We hired him, I don't know, it was like a couple of months after the show started. Something like that. I don't know. Hey, Rick.
What's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
What's up?
You going to do your joke of the week or what?
Oh, now you want me to do joke of the week?
Yes, we do. We do want you to do the joke of the week.
It's 55 minutes into the show, and you're finally saying, Ricky, please come do the joke of the week.
We've been telling you the whole time, man. Want to hear your joke?
What's with your fucking attitude?
What's with your potty mouth?
Don't worry about what potty mouth. Tell your damn joke.
All right, I will. I'll tell my joke of the week. I promise you I'll tell it. Here we go. Are you ready?
Tell it already.
Yes,
please.
ready.
All right. A moron, an idiot, and a sociopath walk into a bar. And the bartender says, hey, Dildano, what's up?
That was awesome.
Only Shiftheads are going to get that one, Ricky, but that was good.
I thought about saying Earl, but it just wasn't. I didn't want to be disrespectful.
Well, thank you, buddy.
That's that's pretty cool. That
was pretty cool. Now go clean the toilets, Ricky.
All right, I'm on it.
That was one of the best jokes he's ever told. I gotta say. I think. Don't you think?
I don't know. I think our listeners might be a little upset about that one.
Why?
Do you think if Shiftheads will ever band together, come after us instead of fighting each other all the time?
That makes sense. They should. You know what they should do? And I told one of the Shiftheads this today. I said, he was crying about you not being here last week. And I said, well, why don't you get your ass on social media and tell Earl how much you want him on here? You know what I mean?
Right. Band together and donate.
Yeah. Speaking of donations, I spent a little of the donation money on a Fiverr account to promote the show. And the person legitimately got this podcast, the Leroy and Earl show, to number 21 on the iTunes comedy chart. Now, since then, it's fallen to number 41. But the thing is, I feel like that was money well spent.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets you on a page where somebody's searching, then that's what you need.
So a thing that would really, really help is if people could go to iTunes, subscribe to the show, and leave a review, obviously a good one, and say, hey, it's the funniest show ever, whatever. Because iTunes is the gold standard for podcasts. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do with the money. I did boost the post for tonight's show, but I'm done with boosting Facebook posts.
Yeah, screw Facebook. Hey, also let us know what you think if you're listening to this after the fact about, I'd like to hear what some opinions about this paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Fans or whatever, what they think. Would they like to hear him back on? Maybe I don't know.
I didn't want to get too deep into it with him, but I don't believe in any of that shit. I think the only people that believe in ghosts, the only people that see ghosts are the people that believe in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand, but I mean, I'm not going to say either way. What I believe. I think you understand what I believe, but the bottom line is there is a whole lot of people out there that do believe, and there's also a lot of people out there that aren't sure. So it was good to hear his point of view, because it wasn't just all, this happened, that happened,
Right.
It was a little different. I just didn't expect it to come out as scientific as he was saying, Yeah,
I was impressed with that. If I had a haunting, I would definitely call St. Michael's Paranormal Investigation, get their asses out to my house and figure out that my water heater tank is loose.
Right, and then offer me an estimate on how to fix it.
There is a business in there somewhere. I sense it.
No, but that's cool, though. I like it. I'm glad he came on. I'm glad you came on, Steve, if you're still listening.
Appreciate it.
And thanks to your wife. I don't want to mispronounce her name. I don't think I've ever met her. So thanks for her showing her face for a couple seconds there. Thanks for all the questions on Strange Label.
Strangelabel.com. We're live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Strangelabel.com. And you can watch us do the show live on YouTube. go to Leroy and Earl, the YouTuber there. You can follow us on Twitter at Leroy and Earl. I have, there's several Twitter accounts. There's Real Saul Gorman, Real Leroy. There's a Real Leroy on Instagram. It all seems like a big giant waste of time, but hey, I'm trying to get this show out there. I think this show has potential. It's the adult cartoon of podcasts. Hey, what happened to your hair?
What do you mean? What happened to my
Did
hair?
you shave your head in the break?
Yeah, man, it was getting itchy.
Wow. I mean, how long did it take you to grow that hair out?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's
Yeah,
it?
you just shave it right before the show so it looked professional, but I was off last week, just getting over this cold. So I figured on my break, man, I was feeling a little pep. I shaved it off.
Nice. Hey, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I know you're not feeling well.
Yep, I cannot pass air through my nose.
That's the worst. That is the worst. So anyway, I appreciate you coming on. So, yep, that's about all we got for tonight. Don't you think?
Yep, that's the show. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. So, I think at some point Saul Gorman is planning on coming in the studio and spinning some tunes as some bonus content that will only be available at LeroyandEarl.com. Not sure if he's going to do it or not, but apparently there's some kind of feud between him and Father James. We did a Facebook poll. Who would you rather hear spin some tunes? And it was 50-50. So
why don't you make them both come in then?
Well, I know I can guarantee you if Saul Gorman comes in here and spins tunes, Father James will either be here or he'll be on the phone.
A little bit jealous, huh?
Yeah, he's not going to put up with that.
I mean, I think he found it. Didn't he just break down the door and spin some tunes one time?
He did. Well, the very first Leroy Earl show was him spinning tunes because you and I couldn't figure out how to do it. Remember?
I still don't think he's fixed that door for you.
I think you're right. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Thanks, Shiftheads, for listening. Thanks, Steve Cross, for the great interview. Thanks, Strange Label, for hosting this show. I don't know why you do it. I'm going to try and get the owner of Strange Label on here for an interview soon. I got all kinds of stuff lined up. It's just great. It's great to see your chin. I can see your chin. It's so great to see your chin. So, all right.
All right, quit sucking my dick. I'm Earl.
Thanks for listening to Leroy and Earl Show. I'm Leroy.
I'm Earl.
We just pitched you some shit.
Don't pitch that shit.
Don't talk about money, because money talks. Don't take a picture hourly. I've seen them all. I'll be your friend, I'll help you out. I'll be your friend, but I can't stand you now.
Yellow.
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 I can hear myself.
Can hear myself.
It's like
It's
Leroy
like
and Earl
Leroy
at
and
the
Earl
same
at the same time.
This is Leroy and Earl
This is
Show.
Leroy and
I'm
Earl Show.
Leroy.
I'm Leroy.
And I'm Earl.
And I'm
We're
Earl.
gonna pitch you
We're
some
gonna
shit.
pitch you some shit.
Go on, pitch
Go
that
on,
shit.
pitch that shit.
24/7. I know you're not the only one missing. Quit messing around. Your mother's been messing around. Ooh, now, brother, tidy that shit up. Quit messing around. My brother's been messing around. Don't flat dummy. Got a new hobby. Ooh, I'm tired on it.
You are a racist.
I had a friend, now he works out. I had a friend who can't put his camera down. Non-stop 24/7. I know you're not the only one missing. Quit messing around. Your mother's been messing around. Ooh, now, brother, tidy that shit up.
Listen to Leroy and Earl's podcast. It's some seriously funny shit. Check them out. LeroyandEarl.com.
We never have got back to talking about The Walking Dead. I wanted to talk about that last week, didn't get to it. I want to talk about it this week, didn't get to it. Maybe next week we'll talk Walking Dead. I've got a feeling no one gives a crap, though.
Still the world keeps changing. So world keeps changing, soon there won't be no one else. Need to put all of me out there. Hope that someone cares. I'm the only one left, right? I'm not the only one left, right? I gotta face the world keeps changing, there won't be nobody else. Need to hold myself together, one foot forward and the next. Keep me moving on left, right, left, right, left, right.
This is Father James O'Shea Hennessy, and you've been listening to Leroy and Earl's Pet Shift. And even though Beardy Leroy tears out part of his beard when he hears it, they are part of the Strange Label Podcast Network.
Messing around, oh, you lovers been messing around, ooh, now, brother, tidy that shit up, oh, you're messing around, oh, my brother's been messing around, take it back, turn back technology, take it back, back in time to when I'm in a fight that, all of my friends were bothering me, back, take it back, go now, take it back.
Thanks for listening. See you next week. All right, YouTubers. Thanks for watching. I'm sure there's some blank spots there because YouTube says they can't play music. Man. See you next week.